So let's quickly get to it. I was so excited. I was so eager to get into this. Let's get to meet my guest for this second conversation. We're also being joined by Dr. Olatubosun Akinlade, a mental health physician who works at Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, Lagos. Sorry to have, frog-leapt into the conversation immediately. Now, we all know that Blessing C was a very controversial woman. Like I was saying before, you know that story of where you cry wolf. Yeah. And this time when the wolf actually does come, the community doesn't believe you. So a lot of people have been debunking her claim, saying that they don't believe it. So which is why I invited both of you to come and answer this question from the medical aspects to clear the air. Dr. Akinlade, is there because some people, they call them hypochondriacs. In other words, they always imagine that they have one thing or the other. But cancer is a tall order. Yeah. Do you understand? For you to actually come and actually claim that you have cancer stage 4, not that I'm disputing what she said, but I'm just saying that, is there a medical term for people who imagine that they have something that they don't have? Is there anything like that? And how does it manifest?
Okay, so the thing is that I have not examined to know what exactly she has. Well, she might be suffering from where the patient deliberately forms certain medical conditions. They just be like, okay, I have this, I have that. Some, they can even exaggerate very little things. You hear them say they have headache. In fact, they could say that their headache is already brain tumor. So in such cases, there are many of them like that. We also have histrionic personality traits where you see people who just want an attachment. They want to get this social approval of certain things. So, and the bottom line is that there's a psychological distress.
I was just going to say that's also amplified by social media, drive personalities to exaggerate or fabricate struggles for attention. Well,
in a country like Nigeria, where people have benefited so much from the public trying to put a lot of things on her, either fake, either true. So it means that we have several stories. Because of certain litigations, maybe I do not want to go into several people who have benefited so much from this. However,
go ahead.
However, in the process of they doing it, there are now lots of consequences that can come, and we have consequences such as people will not trust you any longer, and over time, you are even likely misinforming the community. So that's...
But even aside from that, what about those who now genuinely have it?
Exactly.
Because there's also the chance of, if this... None of us is saying whether she's lying or telling the truth. But there's also the chances that if she is lying, somebody else now genuinely has this ailment, will now be affected by it. So there's a lot of repercussions from this whole revelation.
Well, some people who have found themselves in this situation, I mean, those who are genuinely sick, it's so painful for them because the public will now... I've seen several times when we see a lot of GoFundMe, people who are genuinely sick, and people really help them. Now, it now means that if someone now comes now, I'm not saying our claims are wrong, but I can bet it with you that peradventure, we now discover that our opinion, whatever she has said, is wrong. So it now means that over time, those who are now genuinely sick are now going to suffer more for this action.
There's another one.
So part of the things they are likely going to have is there's a whole lot of drama about the condition. So they are the ones, whoever is sick, I can bet it with you. There are a lot of people who have died that it was after they died we got to know what killed them. It's not you coming to say I have this most of the time. And as time goes on, because they have said a lot of things, their history will now not tally again. You now discover that they will now begin to... They might have said something to Mr. A yesterday, and next week, they are saying another thing to Mr. B. So, and that's the reason why, over time, we now begin to... Looking at that trend, the drama, the history not correlating, and I can bet it with you, we can get to know that it's most likely there's something wrong.
assuming that she's not telling the truth, because we don't know for a fact, it hasn't been proven whether she's telling the truth or she's telling a lie. But if she's not telling the truth, how can somebody go as far as claiming to have a disease as serious as cancer?
Well, in certain conditions, especially in severe cases, you will see them, they know the medical terms even more than certain doctors. They will tell you they had this. I had a patient sometimes who understands, because there was a time when we told her the presentation does not look like what she said. She had to go and check about that condition, and she came and told us that now can you see she beat herself when she had that seizures.
Yeah, but you are talking about somebody who is a genuine hypochondriac.
No, yes.
A genuine hypochondriac.
Yes.
In this case, I'm not referring to Blessing as a genuine hypochondriac. I am wondering if it's actually possible for you to claim you have cancer because you want to score likes on your content page. And if that is the case, which I am not saying is the case, but it is looking like, if that is the case, what are the repercussions of going through such extreme measures? Even the medical board.
Yes, because now the pathologist that signed there, I think he might have a role to come out and defend that result.
No, but I don't think...
Because there's a name there and there's a pathologist. And yes, I think now she's going to... That person would probably have to come out to defend that.
The name of the
pathologist that signed.
Yes.
Would have to, yes.
And if the investigation is done and it's found that these are false claims, who will bear the consequences?
Quite unfortunate that we're in a community where maybe prior to now, we all trusted our pastors, our imams, our religious leaders to giving us instructions, and then we follow. Sometimes we don't even know the reason why we followed. We just followed. And I can remember some years back when we had a Ebola epidemic in Nigeria, when some people were asked to drink salt and water. We had a lot of morbidities and mortalities around that period. So, unfortunately, it is the public who is still going to suffer. Because it now comes to that there's going to be a lot of misinformation. So I want to use this as an opportunity to talk to so many of our influencers. They are now taking the roles of our religious leaders, where people trust them. People have, that's why we call them influencers. Let me use that word. So it now means that whatever she has done now, if she succeeds in this, well, I'm still saying in quotes, I have not examined her, but if she succeeds in this,
if she succeeds in this, in the sense that if it's a lie,
yes. So
but
it
there's
means
also
that,
the chance that it might be true.
Yes,
we don't know.
So it means that another person will do something similar.
And that's the scary thing, because there was another girl who claimed that she drank Sniper. Obviously didn't drink it.
Yes.
But